Long, long ago, in a distant kingdom, there was a golden flower born from sunlight. It possessed powerful magic. As long as someone sang a simple song, the golden flower could restore youth, heal injuries and illnesses, and even allow people to remain young forever. In this kingdom, the queen became pregnant. However, during her pregnancy, she suddenly fell seriously ill. Her body grew weaker day by day, and none of the medicines worked. The king was extremely worried. Just when everyone was nearly in despair, someone discovered that magical golden flower. The flower had powerful healing abilities. As long as it was boiled into a soup and drunk, it could restore the health of someone who was gravely ill. The king ordered his people to pick the flower and make it into a healing potion for the queen. After drinking the soup made from the golden flower, a miracle happened. The queen recovered. Not long afterward, she gave birth to a lovely daughter and named her Rapunzel. The little Princess Rapunzel was born with golden hair, and her hair inherited the magic of the golden flower. As long as someone sang that magical song to her long hair would glow with golden light. It could not only heal injuries and illnesses, but also make people young again. However, no one knew that this magical flower originally belonged to an evil woman, Mother Gothel. She used the power of the golden flower to stay young. When the flower was taken away, she lost her ability to remain forever young. When she discovered that the magic of the flower had not disappeared, but had instead transferred to the newborn princess, she began to have evil intentions. One night, Mother Gothel secretly sneaked into the palace, kidnapped Rapunzel, and took her to a tall tower hidden deep in the forest. From that moment on, Rapunzel never saw her real parents again. Inside the tower, Rapunzel slowly grew up. Mother Gothel pretended to be her mother and told her that the outside world was extremely dangerous and that only the tower was a safe place. She never allowed Rapunzel to leave the tower. Rapunzel's daily life was very regular. She read books, painted, played the guitar, cleaned the room, cooked, and took care of her hair. Her hair grew longer and longer, almost covering the entire tower. Although her life looked peaceful, Rapunzel still felt lonely. Every year on her birthday, she would see many floating lanterns appear in the sky. Those lanterns rose from far away, warm and beautiful. Rapunzel did not know where the lanterns came from, but she had a strong feeling in her heart. Those lanterns were connected to her. She began to long to leave the tower and see the outside world. One day, she gathered her courage and asked Mother Gothel to let her go see the lanterns, but Mother Gothel coldly refused. She used fear and lies to discourage Rapunzel, making her believe she was incapable of living independently. Rapunzel felt very sad and disappointed, but she did not give up her desire to see the outside world. Deep in her heart, she made a decision. One day, she would leave the tower and see the world and those beautiful lanterns. Meanwhile, a thief appeared in the kingdom named Flynn Rider, whose real name was Eugene Fitzherbert. He was an orphan since childhood and lived a difficult life. In order to survive, he learned how to steal. One day, Eugene stole the royal crown and was chased by soldiers. While escaping, he accidentally arrived at the tower where Rapunzel lived. It was Rapunzel's first time seeing an outsider. She felt both scared and excited. She used a frying pan to knock Eugene unconscious and tied him to a chair. During their conversation, Rapunzel discovered that Eugene was not as frightening as she had imagined, so she proposed a bold deal. She would return the crown to him, and in return, he had to take her out of the tower to see the lanterns. At first, Eugene refused, but in order to get the crown back, he eventually agreed. When Rapunzel stepped out of the tower for the first time, her emotions were very complicated. On one hand, she felt incredibly free and happy. On the other hand, she was filled with fear and guilt, worrying that Mother Gothel would be heartbroken. To avoid being captured, Eugene brought Rapunzel to a tavern that looked very frightening. Many rough and fierce-looking people gathered inside, appearing to be dangerous. However, with Rapunzel's encouragement, these people shared their dreams. Rapunzel realized that although they looked scary, they were kind inside. They were simply hiding there for various reasons, too afraid to face the outside world. But soon, the soldiers chasing Eugene arrived at the tavern. With the help of the tavern's people, Eugene and Rapunzel quickly escaped. During their escape, they accidentally entered a dangerous canyon and encountered a sudden flood. They were swept away by the rushing water and nearly lost their lives. At a critical moment, they successfully escaped with the help of the power of Rapunzel's golden hair. Soon, Eugene and Rapunzel arrived at the capital of the kingdom. The city was extremely lively, filled with people, shops, and stalls of all kinds. It was Rapunzel's first time seeing such a vibrant scene, and she was overjoyed. She pulled Eugene around to explore everywhere, dancing and laughing with the people, experiencing freedom and happiness she had never known before. Seeing Rapunzel so happy made Eugene feel happy as well. During this journey, Rapunzel and Eugene helped each other, trusted each other, and their feelings slowly deepened without them realizing it. Finally, on the night of Rapunzel's birthday, they sat in a small boat and quietly watched thousands of lanterns slowly rise into the night sky. The warm lights illuminated the lake and also illuminated Rapunzel's heart. That moment was as beautiful as a dream. However, this beautiful moment was soon destroyed by Mother Gothel's scheme. After appearing, she deliberately created a misunderstanding, making Rapunzel believe that Eugene had betrayed her. Then, under Mother Gothel's manipulation, Rapunzel was taken back to the tower, and Eugene was captured by soldiers and imprisoned in the kingdom's dungeon. When Rapunzel was brought back to the tower and stood alone in her room, she looked at the paintings on the wall and remembered the crown Eugene had brought. Suddenly, she realized an important truth. The lanterns that rose into the night sky every year were lit by the king and queen in order to find their missing daughter. Rapunzel finally understood the truth. She was the long-lost princess. Rapunzel tried to resist Mother Gothel and wanted to escape from the tower, but Mother Gothel was very cunning. She tied Rapunzel up and prevented her from escaping. After Eugene was thrown into prison, he successfully escaped with the help of his tavern friends. He immediately rushed to the tower to rescue the imprisoned Rapunzel. At that moment, Mother Gothel suddenly appeared. While Eugene was distracted, she stabbed him with a knife. Eugene fell to the ground, seriously wounded. When Rapunzel saw Eugene injured, her heart broke. In order to save him, she agreed to leave the tower with Mother Gothel. on the condition that she could use her magical hair to heal Eugene. Rapunzel chose to sacrifice her freedom in exchange for Eugene's life. Eugene did not want to see Rapunzel lose her freedom for the rest of her life, nor did he want her to continue being controlled by Mother Gothel. He looked at Rapunzel's hair and realized that if he cut off the golden hair, Mother Gothel would lose all her power. So, before Rapunzel could react, Eugene made a brave and determined decision. He cut off Rapunzel's hair. The long, golden hair instantly turned into short brown hair, and the magic disappeared immediately. After losing her youth, Mother Gothel rapidly aged, and her body became weak. In panic, she lost her footing and fell from the tower, disappearing forever. Eugene collapsed because of his injury, and Rapunzel held him and cried. But a miracle happened again. A single tear from Rapunzel healed him. In the end, Rapunzel returned to her true home and reunited with the king and queen. Eugene was no longer a thief. He became a kind and upright man and lived happily with Rapunzel in the kingdom. At the end of the story, although Rapunzel no longer had her long golden hair, she gained freedom, family love, romantic love, and many, many friends. She lived a very happy life. This story tells us that true freedom comes from brave choices, and true love is not about control or possession, but about understanding, trust, and letting go.